After a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that have been making add-on tier lists, I thought I would make one for the ONI, because I've never actually seen an ONI main make an ONI add-on tier list. I've seen Blight mains make Blight add-on tier lists, I've seen other stuff like that, and I've seen people make ONI add-on tier lists, but they aren't even ONI mains, mainly all Starver. So I'm going to make an ONI add-on tier list. You should be able to trust this. This is as of the Resident Evil update before the mid chapter. So if there's any changes, a couple of months down the line, you'll know why. But I'm just gonna go straight into it here. So starting off with the brown add-ons, I'm just gonna throw all of the brown add-ons into C tier. This is because they give you small effects. They're not really good, but they don't actively hurt you. So I think I'll save the D tier for add-ons that are actively just gonna make your gameplay worse than if you didn't even have this add-on. Alright, into the yellow add-ons now. Oni's yellows are okay. The first one here is the ink line. I'm going to put the ink line into B tier. This is because it removes 2 seconds in your downing penalty and reduces your activation and cooldown of Blood Fury. This is alright. If you get 2 downs, this will save you 4 seconds, which isn't too bad. But it's not a great effect. At the end of the day, there are much better add-ons you can run. But, for a yellow add-on, this isn't too bad. The next one is the Polished Immediate. I think that's how you say it. This increases your passive recharge. I'm going to put this into B tier as well, because it's not terrible. I think against good survivors that deny your first hit for a long time, this actually will help you because your passive regeneration becomes quite fast, especially when you stack the other one on top of that. The reason I am putting it in the bottom of B tier though is because against 99% of teams and even against good survivors, this really isn't going to help you that much. It's not going to help you in the middle of the game. It's not going to help you snowball. It's not going to allow you to get downs faster. And it really won't get your ability that much quicker. So, for that reason, I'm just going to put it at the bottom of the B tier. Next is Bloody Sash. This increases your movement speed while absorbing. I'm just going to put this at the top of C tier because, it's a nice wee effect, but in reality, it's not going to. It's not really going to affect your gameplay that much. It feels nice to run, but you're really not any stronger when running this add-on. Next is the Chow's Wooden Sword. This is basically just better version of one of the brown add-ons. It increases your detection range on blood orbs. I mean, once again, you can run it, it's fine, but it really isn't going to do much for you. You barely notice it. Next is the Chip Sai High. I'm going to put this into the top of B tier. This has 6 seconds extra duration, which is always solid. I'm putting it at the top of B just because I think A tier I will reserve for stronger add-ons. You can notice when you throw on this add-on, it might allow you to get an extra down every now and again, but it's not a huge amount of duration, so for that reason I'm just going to put it into the top of B tier. Moving on to the green add-ons, we're going to start with the Kanai and Talisman. I'm not putting it in D tier, don't worry. I'm going to put this in the top of B tier. This is a solid add-on. It gives you 0.64 meters per second extra speed while dashing, which is always nice, although this speed isn't enough to warrant being put into the A tier stuff because, once again, it doesn't give you extra duration for more snowball, it doesn't give you extra blood so you can use your ability more. It just makes you a little bit stronger in your ability, but I don't think it's enough to warrant being put into the A tier. It's a solid add-on, you can notice when you put it on, and there's really no issues with it. Next is Scott Top Knot. I've always said this is hugely overrated, but I'm still going to put it into the A tier because it is a good add-on. I've never said that Top Knot was a bad add-on. I have only said that Top Knot is not his best, and there are definitely better add-ons. So Top Knot allows you to half your Demon Dash charge time, which is a strong effect. It can help you get hits you otherwise wouldn't have, if you need to quickly keep cancelling your dash and restarting. It's decent in indoor maps, Larry's and stuff, and Hawkins where you're constantly dashing and stopping and dashing. The servers get much less distance. So for that reason, Top Knot I will put into the A tier. Next is the Shattered Black Azashi. I'm just going to put this into above the Polished Media. It's just a better version of it. It's not terrible. It's just kind of bad. When you stack these two passive regeneration add-ons, your ability recharges in I think about 3.5 minutes roughly. Which is probably about half, if not even faster, than what it already does. It literally, with these two add-ons combined, it literally triples your passive recharge rate nearly. But it's so slow that you're probably just best off using any other add-on, but at least with these add-ons, it doesn't make you any weaker. They just aren't that strong. Next is the wooden ONI mask, which gives you a decent bit more blood. It's one more blood orb for action survivors do, and they drop blood half a second quicker than they normally would. So instead of every 4 seconds, they drop blood every 3.5 seconds. This is a really good add-on. I'm going to put it into the A tier above Top Knot. It allows you to get your ability significantly faster. Once you get hit, you can actually follow a survivor, and you will get your ability much faster than you normally would. So, that's just a really good add-on. There's not really much to say. I definitely recommend running it. Next is the Yamauca Sashimono. This gives you 8 seconds extra duration, and I will put it into the A tier. I will put it... I think I'll put it above Wooden ONI Mask, just because 8 seconds duration is a pretty significant amount, and the extra blood from the Wooden ONI Mask is nice, but I think that extra 8 seconds really can be the difference between you getting 1 down or 2 downs, or even like a down. If a survivor's really good and I've got some really strong stuff near them, you might actually need like your whole ability to get them, and this extra 8 seconds is definitely going to help. Moving on to the purple add-ons, I'm going to start with Lion Fang. I think Lion Fang is probably ONI's. This is definitely a contender for ONI's best add-on. I'm going to put it into the S tier. It gives you 10 seconds extra duration. It just, flat 10 seconds. You can do whatever you want with that. It allows you to get more survivors down. You can be much more lenient with your ability. And also, with duration add-ons, a side effect is you actually require less blood to get your ability. Let's say I activate it, and I use 10 seconds to down a survivor. With Lion Fang, that will be about, 15% of my ability. Whereas without Lion Fang, that will be about 20% of my ability. So you actually don't need to absorb as much blood once you get it going if you duration add-ons. Next is Akito's Crutch. I'm going to put this in... A lot of people say this is best add-on. Personally, I disagree. I will put it at the top of 8 here though, because it is, definitely quite strong. 1 meter per second extra speed while dashing is definitely significant, and will get you hits you otherwise wouldn't get. But I think against good survivors, your best bet is probably just more duration and more blood, stuff like that to keep the snowball going, to get your to keep your power up as much as possible. I definitely think these are more important than stuff like Top Knot and speed. That's not to say, like I said, it isn't strong, because it still is very strong. But there are definitely stronger add-ons you could be running. Next is Splintered Hole. I'm probably going to put this in the S tier as well. I'm going to put it just below Lion Fang, because even though this allows you to get your ability more, I think Lion Fang being able to get you an extra down in your ability is probably stronger. Being able to get your ability, this removes, instead of survivors dropping blood every 4 seconds, they drop it every 3 seconds, and once again you get an extra orb for action survivors do. Combine this with Wooden ONI Mask and you get your ability so much. It's incredibly fast. You literally get like twice as much blood. You get your ability twice as much, basically. So these extra blood add-ons are really good, and they're definitely good. They cover one of ONI's weaknesses, which is survivors being able to deny your power, and being able to reduce the amount you get your power, but quickly healing and stuff like that. If a survivor decides to work on a gen injured with one of these add-ons, you get an entire ability just for free. So I definitely recommend running Splintered Hole. It's definitely one of my favourite add-ons. Next is the Tear Soup Tenogui. I'm actually kind of debating on where I should put this, because it saves you 4 seconds per down instead of instead of losing 7 seconds when you're down a survivor, you lose 3 seconds. I think I'm going to put it into the let's see. I think I'm going to put it into the top of 8 here. Is it better than Akito's Crutch? I don't think it's better than Akito's Crutch. I don't think it is. I'm going to put it into the just below Akito's Crutch. This will save you a significant amount of time, but against good survivors, when you're only going to be getting 1 or 2 abilities per down, this will save you the same amount of time as the Yamauca Sashimono here. But if you get 3 downs, like if you're going to get 4 downs in your Blood Fury, you literally need this add-on. Because you save 4 seconds per down. This can save you 12 seconds if you down 3 survivors, which is more than the Lion Fang. But against good survivors, you're probably only going to be getting 1, maybe 2 downs per Blood Fury. So I'm going to just put this at the top of A tier. But I don't think it should be an S tier or anything like that, just because, it does require you to actually down survivors to get value from it. Next is Jira's Bloody Glove. This is going to be the only D tier add-on, because it's the only add-on that actually hurts you. This means, you can see survivors' auras when they come into contact with blood orbs, but they absorb your blood. This is dumb. You lose your ability in favor of getting aura reading. Like, I don't see why people think this add-on's good. Monto uses the build where he puts on like Thanatophobia and like Dying Light and Sloppy Butcher, which is a shit build. Like he beats these potato ass survivors with it. But the minute he gets a couple of decent survivors, he will get absolutely shit on using that build because he's just dumbass M1 killer running around, not using his ability, not being able to get any downs, not being able to get any snowball. It's terrible. It's actually terrible. It's an adult that encourages you not to use your ability, and at that point, why are you even playing on it? It's not fun, it's not strong, it literally hurts you. And then the Iridescent Family Crest is going to go into the bottom of C tier. The reason it's not going into D tier is because it doesn't actively hurt you unless you try to use it. Then you actually will actively hurt yourself sitting missing attacks and shit like that. Which will waste your ability duration. Be sitting wasting time. But if you throw it on, it technically doesn't make you any weaker than you already would be. So for that reason, I put it into the bottom of D tier. I've never used this add-on. I don't plan on using it because its effect is useless. You might as well not use it. So bottom of C tier is where I think it should sit because it might as well do nothing, which is a shame because both the Iridescence are his 2 worst add-ons, despite the fact that they should probably be his 2 best add-ons. So that's my only add-on tier list. You can see here we got the D tier, Jira's Bloody Glove. C tier, all his browns, Iridescent Family Crest, and 2 yellows. We got the B tier, you got the passive regeneration add-ons, a couple of small duration add-ons, and the green speed add-on. A tier, top knot, extra blood, extra duration, reduced down and penalty, and extra speed. And then the S tier, in my opinion, his 2 best add-ons is Lion Fang and Splintered Hole, which is duration and extra blood. Now, I'm not saying you can't debate this. You could probably swap a couple of these add-ons. You could probably swap these around. You could maybe swap these around, maybe even those. You could probably even bring that up there if you wanted, or even that up there. But I think I'm pretty confident where I have these at the minute. You can maybe even swap these around. But yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty solid tier list. Once again, you can swap a couple of them around, but I think each add-on is in its respective tier, and I'm pretty confident that this is basically, uh, you know, how good his add-ons are. So, thanks for watching. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know what you disagree with, and let me why you disagree with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.